Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to International Racing League Season 11 F2 Tier, round number 2 at France. I am your commentator, IRL, or as Jared Lee Fosbury. It's great to be here, and there's 17 grid turnout, so IRL is on the up, it looks like, because F1 had a 16 or 17 at the end, which is not usually like IRL F1, but it's good to see. Well, we're in the F2 tier today, and we already have drivers leaving the pit lane, and it is Inters, it looks like, going to be soon, as some drivers still on the dry tyres, but it is raining at the moment, as we have an AlphaTauri leaving the pit lane already, and that is Louis Quinlan. Louis Quinlan is out on track. He's currently in Sector 1, and it says Tim was just in the pits, but he's actually an outlet. Tim is the lead driver in the AlphaTauri. He got his penalty removed, which I believe put him into the podium position in the other race. He is cutting corners, which you're not allowed to do in quali. You're not allowed to cut the corners or anything like that, because you will be receiving penalties. Since it's not fair, you guys cutting the tracks. But anyhow, we're on board with Tim. He will be the first one to begin a lap, and these conditions don't look great. So, will the soft tyres be able to be quick enough for some guys to set lap times already? Because intermediates could be the quicker tyre at the end of this session. As right now then, Tim, it begins his flying lap. As he's coming down the straight now, activates DRS. Into turn one he goes, down to fourth gear then. Oh, losing the rear end a bit. Oh, he's sliding the car, trying to keep it under control, and that's him round. And that is a shame there for Tim, and he's going to have to set this as a banker, but he's going to have to get the car under control. And the next driver we're going to go on board with is the Aston Martin of Reese March. And Reese has done the exact same. The conditions are not good enough for intermediate tyres. I don't know, he's managed to keep it under control. And he then will be the first one to set a good lap, hopefully, in these conditions. But I think it's time for everybody else to pit, and Enzo's in the pit lane on the intermediate tyres. So, yeah, there's just no grip on these softs at all. And I think it's safe to say that people need to come in the pits ASAP and go on the intermediate tyres, because the conditions are just too bad for the dry tyres to even get grip to the track at all. Speaking about instant, there is Adam into the wall. He's lucky that he's not out of the race. That's his front wing completely gone, and it's lucky that the right front tyre didn't go out, and he's waiting for the Astons to get out of the way. But as Jacko, I believe, or yeah, Jack is on a lap in fourth right now, as it hasn't set a lap there. As yeah, he's backed off. I don't think he's actually going to be setting a valid lap time. And as everybody else is leaving the pit lane, Kieran is on medium tyres. He's currently in the the track is way too damp, and look, he's not even getting grip on those mediums. Same with the Ferrari behind him, who's also on a fly. Look, and Kieran almost loses it on the straight there. He's just aquaplaning. As we have the helmet glitch there, as he's for some reason doesn't have a helmet on, which is great by Cordis as usual. But yeah, he's gonna try and set a lap on these mediums and try not to aquaplane. He's not even going full throttle, and he's just losing the rears. So he will have to come in pits, and Louis Quinlan has left the pit lane on the intermediate tyre, who's just behind these three. It's going to be interesting how the race is we've set up. They could be running an intermediate setup, they could also be running a dry setup. It depends how the weather is in the race. My top 4 prediction for this weekend, I think I'm going to go with Tim on pole. Second, I'm going to go with Jack Pearson there, Jay Hooden, Jack in 14th, and then I'm going to go with Enzo. He was quite quick at certain stages for the top 3, and then 4th I'm going to go with Louis Quinlan and possibly Kieran. Those two are going to be close for 4th, I feel, in today's race. But we're still on board with Kieran. He's just really struggling with the rear end. I know, oh my god, he's almost losing it again. Almost takes out Louis there, because there's just no grip at all. And hopefully he can have a good race day today, because last week he didn't have a good one. He did crash in Spa and DNF'd, unfortunately, and yeah, that was a shame for him. As right now then, we're on board with him as he's just finding his way around the track. As here we go then. And the McLaren's really struggling right now. And he's finishing a lap. We will go on board with Louis Quinlan next. He's the first person on the intermediate tyre. And there is Kieran at 59.5. And JP, if you can race, I don't know if you already were signed to an F2T. If you didn't sign up for the equals, I don't know if you can race today. Message Sandra or message or sign up for the equal tier, and we can put you in the F2 tier. And oh, Kieran needs to be careful. He's not really allowed to do this. However, we're back on board with Louis Quinlan. The time to beat is a 1:59.588 on the medium tyre. I think the Inters are easily going to smash that lap time, and well, only time will tell. As oh, yellow's ahead. That's the Red Bull going slowly, just ahead of Louis Quinlan. Oh, there you go. Someone says he can. So there you go, JP. There is your answer. You can race. Right. Give me a second then. I think Luke will have to invite you, but I can try. We'll first stay on board with Louis Quinlan right now. As Enzo sets the new fast lap at 1:41.124. Oh, Louis there, losing the rebound down. He is round almost and almost hits the barrier. And that's his lap over, unless he's going to finish it just to get ahead of Kieran and Jeremy Pope. Nah, he's going in the pit lane. And that's his lap over then, as the McLaren of Shane is next up. Unfortunately, he's invalidated, so his lap will not count. Then it is Jack, who unfortunately lost his podium due to Tim's penalty getting removed. And now is in finished 4th last week. So he's a title contender this season. And he comes to the line and he's going to set a 1:40.4 there. It was almost a 39. Good lap there from Jack as he takes provisional pole. As I'll just have to cut the screen out because I will have to invite JP there. Well, there you go, JP. You have been invited to the session, so hopefully you can join, and we'll have an 18 card win. Next up, we have, I believe, Reese is on a fly right now, as Dylan then goes into P4 right now, and he won last week, so it's a good start for him. Hopefully, he's looking for a possible F2 title this season. He did win the F3 championship last season with his teammate Ross Denholm, who unfortunately cannot make it today. So the Ferraris will only be scoring constructors for one driver. As Reese then is currently heading up to Sector 2. Will it be purple? Will he be able to match anybody's time? And it is. It's a 55.5. Don't know if that's good enough or not. But right now it says he's purple in Sector 2 as he's now going through the first right-hander. Now the second right-hander. You've got to get your braking zone correct and good line in so you can gain plenty of time. And try and avoid the exit curve as much as possible, because if you go too much over it, you will lose the rear and you'll spin around. As Reese says, just keeping the car under control now. You can ride the curb a little bit here to get a bit of time. As he's now coming through the left-hander now, which will then approach the final corner. Don't want to run too deep, as you want to get a good line and a good run through the final corner to take you to the finish line. As the pole position at the moment is a 40.4. Storms goes second with 40.5. But what about Reese March? Will he have anything to do with the answer? Yes, he does. A 1:39.948. Reese is currently on provisional pole at the moment. Now, what about his teammate? Is his teammate on a flyer? No, unfortunately, he has invalidated. What about the Mercedes then of Jeremy Pope? He's on a outlap right now. What about Greenwood? Greenwood has made it to the session, so it is good to see him in the session then. So Adam is the next up on a flyer. Will he have anything to answer for pole position, or will he be able to just make it into the top 5? As here comes Adam then. He's coming to the line now. What time will it be? Will it be a 1:39? And it's going to be a 1:40.305 from spinning in Spa under the safety car to take second at the moment in France. Good job there from Adam there in second position for the Alfa Romeo team. As the next up looks like an AlphaTauri. Both AlphaTauris are on outlaps. What about the McLaren? That is Shane, I believe. Yes, it is. It is Shane. The Ferrari on the outer track is on outlaps. So the next Aston, I believe, was Jack, but he's decided to not finish the lap. He's now gone into 12th position. So that's a shame for him then. There's neither Ferrari or on flyers right now. There's a Mercedes going slow. I believe that is Jeremy Pope there, making a mistake into the chicane. So that's a shame for him. The next guy up on a lap then is Louis Quinlan. Louis Quinlan right now is on a flyer, currently in the second sector. No, actually, no, scratch that. Third sector now, as he's just past the second sector. But it says he's on an out. Oh no, this is Tim. My apologies, the wrong AlphaTauri. He's on an outlap right now, so he's getting prepared for his flying lap. Last time Tim won a Drivers' Championship was in Season 7, I believe, the F5 tier, against me, and he beat me there fair and square. So he's looking for another F2 title this year. However, here is Louis Quinlan, the guy who's next on a flying lap, as one of the Williams drivers is ahead of him. That is Luke Baker. He could be on a fly. Let's actually go on board with him. Now he's backed off, so he isn't happy with that. Jerry Pope then goes 9th with a 47 flat. So he's currently 9th place, ahead of Kieran and Jeremy Pope. But what about Louis Quinlan? Will he be able to challenge some of the guys at the top? The quickest at the moment is a 139.9. The only guy to be in the 39s. But will Louis Quinlan get near that, or will he be the next in the 39s? He is in the next person in the 39s. He does a 139.654 to take provisional pole in the qualifying session, as it yells in sector 1. I believe that's a Ferrari going slowly, as we have 5 minutes and 30 seconds remaining of the session. So plenty of time for people to improve their lap times. And speaking about a person who should be improving his lap time, who hasn't even set a lap time, is Tim. Tim right now is in sector 2. Let's see if he can match his teammate and see if the AlphaTauris can get a 1-2 for the French Grand Prix. Shane then has retired, so Shane is out and he's retired in the pit lane, so he will be starting 17th on the grid. That's Adam, I believe they're going slowly, letting people through. As Tim, on the other hand, though, is fighting for a possible first place, but the rain looks like it is getting heavier, so it's the rain's going to go to full wets later in this stage. As here comes Tim now, through the final corner, gets a good exit now, hits up the 4th gear, in the 5th now, running to the line. Will he get pole, or will he be second fiddle to his teammate? He gets pole, 139.502. Tim then is in pole position. The AlphaTauris are 1-2 in qualifying as we speak, as Jeremy Pope then comes across the line and finally sets a representative lap time with a 41.428. Luke Baker in 12th with a 41.5, and Jeremy Pope with a 42.495 after he set his next intermediate run. However, JP, we're on board with JP right now. He made it into the qualifying a bit late in the Alfa Romeo. Let's see what he can do. He's backed off, so he's not happy with the car at the moment, not happy with the conditions. Maybe he's going to go for a flying lap next lap round. As an Aston looks like he's now just set a lap time, or that Reese Marsh, as JP's gone round. In Reese Marsh, that's Jack then, so we're going to go on board with Jack, as he's on a fly right now. Hopefully that isn't invited. Keeps it roughly within track limits. That should have been invited, but he did back off as he's in sector 1. Let's see what his sector 1 time is compared to everybody else. Oh, runs a bit deep there, trying to get the car to turn in, locking up a little bit now, as he does a 26 flat there, which in intermediates could be a good lap time. There's a Mercedes gone off there, just ahead in sector 2, entering sector 3. Look, Jack then on a lap as we speak. Going down the long straight, topping the speed of 194 miles an hour. He hits the braking zone, drops down to 80 in a 4th gear, against the 3rd, just for the turn-in, to try and get much time as he can with the turn in there. In the 5th now, going down the next straight, which needs to get a good turn in on the right hander, because if you run a bit too far wide, you may go off the circuit. As he goes down a gear there in the 7th, rev 7th out there. Now he's coming up to the next right hander, where you've got to get your braking zone correct, and then also you don't want to really hit the curb because it can shove you off. But the next curb, he gets close to it, keeps good traction there in the Aston. So he's just trying to get a lap time set, as there's only 2.5 minutes remaining of the session, so quali will be ending very soon. So maybe this and next lap will be his only flyers, as a lot of people now coming out of the pit lane, and there's a Williams going slowly in turn 1, and there's a Ferrari on the lap. I believe that is Ivan there on a flyer, as just get in. As Jack is coming now to the line. Backed off a little bit there, but he is on a flyer, and he's going to set a 42.4 there. Goes into 14th position, as Adam's AI there almost scared him as he was on a lap. hopefully Jack can run around the track, save a little bit of fuel, and do another lap. As is that JP Greenwood? I believe it is. It is JP. JP's really not liking the conditions, as Jack's now done a 38.9. We're in the 38, so times are improving quite easily. And Jack then, who missed out on the podium, got it on track, but the penalty from Tim was removed. He lost the podium then, but he's looking for a win today, and I think these two, Tim, Jack, and maybe Louis Quinlan, will be fighting for the Top Gun for the title this season, as Storm then has retired with a 39.6. He thinks he's happy with 4th position right now. The next person to finish lap is Reece March then. He's on the final corner, runs a bit deep, doesn't get a good exit, what he needs. Is there enough time to do another run? Let's have a look. Yellow's in sector 3, 1 minute 15, he has enough time to do another lap, but will he back off? Reece is currently set at 139.9, he could easily improve by a couple of tenths and go into 3rd position, or even 2nd. Reece then is on a flyer. The next AlphaTauris are on outlaps. What about Ivan? Is he next up? Yes, he is. Ivan then, up to the line. And I believe Enzo's behind him. Billy Musson was retired from the session. And there's Ivan, goes into 9th position then. Enzo moves into 7th. As Cam Rules, sorry, no, it was Cam Rules who moved up. He's into 5th place. Good driving there from him. And he will be happy with that, as I believe that was Luke Baker then coming across the line, as Kieran's called it a day in qualifying. He's going to be happy with 10th. Hopefully he can drop in 11th to get a better strategy call, as there is... Oh, there's a Red Bull going off, and that, I believe, is Enzo. No, it ain't. It's actually Cam, so he's just lost it there on the rear. As Jack's set another lap time, but that's it. Game over for him, and 41.9 is the best he can do. And the next up is a Ferrari. It isn't Ivan, it is Jeremy Pope. No, not Jeremy Pope, it's Chris Ryan. I don't know why I get these two mixed up. It's Chris Ryan then. Oh, and he loses the rear end and hits the wall, and that's the left rear into the wall there. Luckily, he didn't lose the front wing. And the next up we do have, if it lets me select him, it's not bloody Valtteri Bottas, it's Tim. Tim then, as invalidated, he would have set a 1:39.502. I didn't tell him what time he would have actually set, to be honest. Ivan's just set another lap. And Reece went in the pits, so that was his lap over. So, will Louis Quinlan be able to steal pole position? As Jack isn't setting another lap, he has crossed the finish line. A 38.9 is to beat. Louis has only got a 39.6 at the moment. Will he be able to take pole? As here comes Louis Quinlan then. And that's a 39.2. Takes 2nd place from his teammate. Tim may not be happy with that, but he's in 3rd position. What about Enzo? Will Enzo be anywhere near these lot? As actually next up is actually Luke Baker. And he's going to set a 1:40.3, goes to 8th position. The next up after that is an Alfa Romeo. It isn't JP Greenwood, it is Adam. He earlier on was in 3rd position. The next up behind him is Enzo. Adam is going to go to 3rd position there. Good lap there from him, 1:39.3. Enzo doesn't really improve, 40.2, but what about JP? His first lap, representative lap time of 41.140, goes into 12th position there. He will be happy with that. And obviously Jack, unfortunately, made a mistake in a turn 1 and doesn't really have enough fuel. So that is qualifying over then. And here is your top 3 there. It is Jack, Louis Quinlan and Adam then. 3 different teams in the top 3, with Tim then in 4th, Storm in 5th and Cam in 6th. A very interesting qualifying session and a very competitive grid in today's race. As unfortunately, Nice to Spice, Billy Mossam and Shane didn't set lap times. As we're just waiting for Jack to retire from the session, and hopefully we can move into the race. And there we have it then. So here is your qualifying grid then. Jack on pole position, he will be happy with that, with a 1:38.92 tenths ahead of Louis Quinlan. Then Adam in 3rd, Tim in 4th, Storm in 5th, Cam in 6th, Reece March in 7th, good fast and Martin. Hopefully he can score points there. Unfortunately last week he did DNF. Enzo in 8th, Luke Baker in 9th, Ivan in 10th. Not really the best position to be since he won the last race, but could be doing something there. Kieran in 11th, the best place to start if it is dry weather. Greenwood in 12th, Chris Ryan in 13th, Jeremy Pope in 14th, Jack in 15th, Spicer in 16th, Billy Moss in 17th, and Shane then in 18th. And as I said, Tom, Billy and Shane didn't set lap times there, and that it was a shame for them, as they could have set lap times, they could have got up the field, they could have been easily the midfield there. As Tim does say in the chat, they was so easily a 38 but missed on the time by 5 seconds. You can easily say that, but unfortunately we couldn't see it on track. But hopefully, Tim, you do have a good race, and so does the rest of F2. As we now all get into the racing session then, as everyone is loading up and getting their setups sorted, and hopefully their race strategies and fuel loads sorted as well. And it is clear skies, which is great to see some awesome racing, hopefully. Usually France is a DRS train, like it was in the F1 tier, but hopefully it's not like this in the F2 tier. Hopefully we have a lot of overtakes on corners and that, but it is F1 2021. It's not, we don't get what we want usually. As people now are getting ready, we do have the countdown now of 20 seconds, so people are doing their strategy calls and everything. So then, here we go then, as we won't be that long till the race starts. And my prediction I will make on the formation lap, as long as I see everybody's tyre choice, as there could be a safety car, as we had a safety car in IRL F1, a couple of VSCs as well. So that could alter things, as there's no cloud at all at the moment, as people now are going on their formation laps. As that is a predicted pit stop strategy for the leader, medium to hard. Now that is a good tyre strategy to be on, because you can do medium to soft, but the softs do die out here quite quickly, especially through sector 3. The softs just get hammered. But to be safe, you could do medium to hard, or if you're on the softs, soft to hard. However, we will go down the grid again then. Jack on the medium tyres in first place, same with Louis in second, Adam third, Tim in fourth, all on mediums. Then Storm, the other Alpine, is doing a different tyre choice. He's on softs. Now he could go soft medium or soft hard, as I said. He's in fifth, or he could even do a 2-stop, but I think the 1-stop will be quicker. Cam then in sixth, Reese in 7th, Enzo 8th, Luke Beck in 9th, Ivan in 10th, Kieran in 11th, JP in 12th, all on medium tyres, so they're going to be in their own train, I think. As then we have Chris Ryan deciding to go on the soft tyre then, as almost looked like somebody almost lost it. It has. It's like JP's lost it on the formation lap. That's a mistake there from him. Hopefully he can get it under control. Jeremy Pope then and Jack all both for mediums. Then Tom is also going on the soft tyre. Same with Shane, as Billy Moss then in 17th on medium tyres. So it's going to be very interesting, the tyre choice. No one chose hards at all. So it's going to be very interesting. And hello, Gurud, I think is how you say it. Apologies if I said your username wrong or something like that. I do apologise. Try and say it. But as my predicted race then, I think Jack could run away with the win today. He is on the preferred strategy. Same with Tim and Louis. But those two may have to double stack and may have to stay out one extra lap if they don't. So Jack is my favourite to win it then. Louis obviously in second, and I can't believe I'm actually saying this. Adam for third, because he surprised me in qualifying. He had terrible luck in Spa. But he's coming to qualifying today, takes third in the intermediate conditions, which is the worst conditions, to be honest, than dries. And Adam then, in third, I think he could get it. With Tim, I think he's going to struggle. I think he's going to have a fight with Cam, Reese, Enzo and Storm for the final 4th position. So then, we are getting ready for lights out now. We're just waiting for the drivers to line up on the grid for the final time for this race. If you guys want to put your predictions down, do put them in the comments. Very excited for an 18-car grid. It's going to be fun. As I like to see, control will be beginning very soon, as we now have 5 red lights for the second round of IRL F2 at France. And Jack has had a good start, but so has Louis. Louis had a brilliant start into the lead now, takes the lead and moves into first position then, as his teammates trying to get into third. As we move down the grid there, hopefully Jack and Tim. Oh, Tim's round! Tim is round, hits Jack there, and Tim has got into the wall. That could be rear wing damage there for Tim, and that could be a shame for him in the race today. But that was a big impact, and now Adam is trying to hold Storm behind him on those soft tyres. But what a start from Louis Quinlan there. He had a brilliant start. Moves into first, and he's already now pulled a gap of 1.1 seconds. Already broke the DRS range, so there may be an issue with Jack's car, or he's not really pushing yet. But I'll tell you who is pushing. It is Storm. Storm on the soft tyres right now. He needs to pass these guys and catch up with Louis and start to stretch his gap so he can try and make this soft to medium work, as Adam makes a mistake. Ooh, Storm's trying to come at him as he's almost going side by side through the... Oh, look at the grip difference between Storm. Storm's now on the inside of Adam. These two are going side by side now through Sector 2, entering Sector 3 now, through the fast right, and Storm then moves into P3. He does actually cut part of the track there, so you don't know if he has to give that position back. But look at Reece March. He's had a brilliant start for the Aston Martin team into 5th. As is Yellows, that is JP. JP is already out. JP is out of the race. He's lost it to the fast right-hander, and that is a shame for JP there. As Tim then is trying to come back in 17th. He's catched up with the grid, as there's other fights further ahead now. Kieran, Endzone are really scrapping away. Kieran's had a brilliant start as well. He started in P11 and he's now into 8th position. Let's have a look at the position changes then. And look at the position changes there. Tom has had a brilliant start. 6 positions gained. Great start from him, and he's still fighting for points today. Will Tim have to pit though? Tim, no, stays out. As he's trying to pass Jack, it looks like, further behind. As we're on board with him. They're going side by side through turn 1. This ended in tears earlier, but he gets it under control. He's still going side by side now with Jack, and he moves into 16th position. As there's Adam. Adam, what's happened to Adam? He's dropped down. He's on a 10-second penalty. That will possibly be removed if he was shoved off or anything like that. But Storm then into 3rd place, now fighting with Jack for P2. As Jack has lost all the pace to Louis Quinlan, who's got a gap of 1.9 seconds. Oh, now 2 seconds. And Storm is now making the move into 2nd position. Passes Jack now, and he is the quicker guy. So Jack's not fighting. There's a VSC there. So a virtual safety car for Tom, who's DNF'd, had a great start, who's 6 positions gained, and then unfortunately DNF'd on lap number 2. And that is a shame there. This could even... Oh, Shane's could have gone and gained a pace there. So I don't know how he's gained that, and he will have to serve that in the pits as well. A couple of guys got the penalties. Ryan's got 10 seconds, Chris Ryan's got 3, and Shane then in 10th place got 5 seconds. We've got to watch out with this VSC, because this VSC can be a bit dodgy. Look, this is great news though for Louis. You know, he doesn't really have to push. Hards can't go to the end yet, so he's happy it's not a safety car. He's on mediums. He's already built a 2.6 second gap roughly to Storm, and you know, he's just running away with the race right now. And I actually can't believe it. Tim's just got a 5 second for hitting Adam. Oh no, these two have collided, it looks like. And oh, that is a shame there for those two drivers. They will have to serve that in the pit lane. Unfortunately, that will not be removed. As I don't know, it's a bit questionable, these two. They're all breaking over though. We are back to green flag race, and Reece March gets a 3-second time penalty for cutting a corner, apparently, as Jack now is trying to catch back up with his teammate. Both Alpines fighting for a possible podium today. And they're trying to get their positions through, as right now then we can see another fight scrapping further behind, where Kieran is right now fighting for 6th position to try and get past Enzo, as that McLaren has been on Enzo's back the whole race at the moment, as we're on lap number 3. But look at Jack, he's thinking about it, but he's now realised, what's the point attacking Storm? He's going to drag me along. We're now going to start catching up with Louis. This will help me out on the strategy as well, and it helps out Storm. He is actually catching, as Shane picks up another 3-second time penalty further behind, as we're going to go on board with Reece March. It looks like he's got a brilliant run. He's going through the fast right. Oh, he was thinking about going on the inside, but he backed off in the end. But he might get a good run here. He's going on the inside next for the next fast right. Cameron has to leave in space. Cameron leaves plenty of space, but Reece just didn't feel confident on the brakes and has to wait another lap. However though, there was an overtake further behind. I believe that was Shane losing a position there, as Shane now is under threat by Luke Baker, but actually scratch that. He's now actually trying to overtake Ivan there in 8th position. As he yells in sector 3, that's an Alfa Romeo going slowly. That is an Adam there, the other Alfa Romeo. He's having a terrible day, and I said he could possibly get 3rd, as Louis actually Storm sets a new fast lap at 34.8. The fast laps will be beaten, obviously, because it was under the VSC. There's another yellow sector 3. That's Chris Ryan. Chris Ryan's completely gone off. I don't know if he was trying to go in the pits, but he's dropped to 16th position. Although we're going to have to go on board with Shane. Shane is really on the back of Ivan. Ivan's in a bit of trouble here, but this is because Shane is on soft tyres. The grip compared, and look at Ivan's grip there. He almost loses the rear end. But these softs shouldn't be at this level at the moment, with the grip difference, because the softs aren't really good at this track, but Shane's finding some use for him. He's going to make an overtake for P8. Shane's gone on the inside then, so Shane must have overtaken Luke, who's now going to overtake Ivan. And Shane was at the back of the grid, so he's having a brilliant start now into 8th place. And now his next objective is his teammate, Kieran, in 7th position. And he now needs to catch back up within DRS, so he doesn't get re-overtaken in the next DRS zone. And look, Kieran is in a bit of bother right now. He's out of DRS zone from Enzo, who's now also in a fight, Enzo is, with Reece March and Cam Rule. So both Red Bulls there scrapping away for 4th position. As Aston Martin then, only, as I said, scoring points for one driver. Unfortunately, Matt Romano couldn't make it today, which is a shame, obviously. His controller didn't work and he couldn't get a new controller in time, which is a shame. But hopefully we do see him for the next round, which is Italy. As Louis Quinlan sets the new fast lap, 32.4 is the fastest lap on the medium tyres. And the softs just not matching them. And that's just in Sector 3, the softs just die off. As we see an overtake further behind now. Or possible overtake. Shane is already in the back of Kieran. These softs, for some reason, are just working for him like a treat. So could Shane be trying the soft medium strap? Because he's got plenty of grip and we're on lap 5. And the soft medium strap pit window is roughly around about lap 8 to lap 10. As the ERS zone is activated then, he's not using his ERS, he doesn't even need to use the ERS, he's got plenty of ERS to use, but he doesn't use it, moves into 7th position. Now, this is where he needs to use his ERS to help his teammate to catch up with Enzo. They are now almost in DRS range. Oh, Tim's picked up another penalty there, and Tim's actually making a move. Actually, no, that's Adam making a move there on the Aston Martin, as Jack must have made a mistake as well, so that's a shame for him. As we're back on board with... oh, actually, scratch that. That is Jack into the wall. It almost looked like there. And he's left the session. I think he's rage quit. I think he's called it a day. I think he's had enough for today. And, yeah, that is a shame there for Jack. As hopefully he can come back and race, because there could be a safety car as... it looks like somebody's off. That is Tim. Tim is round. And he's now dropped to 14th. Oh, that is a shame there for Tim. Oh, he's brown again. He needs to cool those tyres. Those tyres are through the roof. And he's now in 16th position. He got a podium last week. I don't think he's going to even score a point this weekend. Although, back on board with a fight now for P5. Reece is in a bit of trouble. He's got a lot of cars behind him looking for that position, as Enzo now picked up a 3-second time penalty, but Enzo is in the biggest trouble yet. Shane is still finding grip on those softs. Shane, Enzo, who's going to win? Will it be Red Bull? Will it be McLaren? I think it's going to be Shane. Shane's got miles more ERS, double the amount. Shane then going for the overtake. And not even, look, he's not even using ERS. That's how confident he is in that McLaren with the straight line. And there we go then. Moves into 6th position. And I'm not saying Shane's going to win this race. But right now, if he keeps pushing at this pace on these soft tyres, he's got a chance as Chris Ryan is out of the race. And that's caused a safety car. This is brilliant news for Shane. It's horrible news for the medium runners. Yes, they can pit, they can go hard. Shane doesn't need to go hard. He can go mediums. This is great news for the soft runners now, because they can pit, they can go mediums. The safety car is going to be at least another 2 laps. The push lap for the mediums, as I said, is around about lap 8 to lap 10. So this is very crucial for the soft runners to be on the right tyre. But will they pit? Yep, Louis in. Storm's in. Jack stays out. So a couple of guys who are mediums are staying out. That could be the better option later on, but it's not going to help him with point. And yet, the soft runners are in the pit lane. And we'll have a look, see where Storm comes out after he makes his scheduled stop. As the Alpine team working on the car then, going on the hard tyres. And he doesn't get held up. What about Louis though? Louis is out and he's got clear traffic ahead. So he's out, net leader. As Reece March looks like he's moved into the net 3rd when everybody else pits ahead of him. Shane then, he's on medium tyres, as I said. They should be able to make it at the end. And Storm's also on hards, actually. Yes, Storm's on hards, that's interesting. So Storm is definitely making it to the end on those hard tyres. So he's safe to make it. Louis, on the other hand, that's a very interesting strategy. It looks like he's doing the 2-stop. He's on the soft tyre. He's predicted, hopefully, hoping for another safety car. And, yeah, it could work out for Louis, but if it does come out another safety car, Jack is safe. Because then he can go softs if it's later in the race. So, right now, it's very interesting how things are going to turn out, because this safety car has kind of screwed the medium runners. The Jeremy Pub has to watch out. He doesn't want to hit the rear end of Luke Baker. As, yeah. While we wait for everybody else on the safety car, then we will go through the grid as we speak then. So, Jack takes the lead then after the safety car, with Cam in second, Kia in third, Luke Baker in fourth, Jeremy Pope fifth, Billy Mawson in sixth. Then we have Louis in seventh, who's currently the net leader, Storm in eighth, Jack in ninth, Reese March in 10th. However, Enzo in 11th, Ivan 12th, Shane 13th, Adam 14th, and Tim in 15th. And also, Tim has gone the softs now. Actually, I've just realised something. They might have gone the softs to pit again to go mediums. Ah, I see what they're doing. If Louis pits, then that's what he's doing then. Because the two-stop, I wouldn't really see would work. So if he goes in the pit lane, go mediums, he can do that. He has then gone on the softs. And yeah, a couple of guys are pitting. Louis stays out. No, Louis in. Louis stays out. And that's interesting. Billy's got a 5-second speed in the pit lane. Another safety car as he's now decided to pit. Tim's also staying out. So do they know something that we don't know? Is there possible rain midway through the race? Because I'd expect them to pit, especially Tim. He's got nothing to lose really. The safety car will be going around another lap. As Billy then goes in the pits for another set of mediums, it looks like. No, a set of hard tyres. He's serving his 5-second. But he does have another, so that is a shame. There's a lot of people having penalties which could ruin the race for them. But Billy then going around the grid, and as I said, Adam's penalty probably will get removed as long as he reports it of what happened and everything like that. If any foul play was involved, to give him that 10-second penalty, as we did remove one from FP between Chaos and Edward, so it can happen as we have a track format. Ivan Ella is my GOAT, he says. Well, he could be your GOAT, but I'll tell you who my GOAT is, and it is Tim and Louis Quinn, and those two are the GOATs in my point of view. They have been here the longest and have shown Ivan a trick or two, so I won't count out Ivan, but I won't call him the GOAT, to be honest. But it is your opinion, and you are entitled to it. But we all know the real GOAT is CRG Blizzard. So, yeah, there's waiting then for everyone to catch up, and safety car should be in this lap. I hope it is in this lap, as it has now started to speed up a little bit. And yep, safety car is in this lap from race control, so we will go back to green flag racing. Well, yeah, Toppy Cam is in P2, but he's got to make a pit stop still, so he ain't really in the best position. You know who CRG Blizzard is, trap. Next PSJL F1 champion. Alright, wait for Jack to get the grid. He's doing a Matthew tactic, which Matthew knows I can't stand. But he's backing the field up, and it looks like he's gone. Safety car is in the pit lane, and he has bolted, so that's very interesting how he's done it. It goes into the hairpin. I would have let it go here, but he goes then. Jack's had a brilliant restart. Already pulled a gap of 1.4 seconds. Cam wasn't expecting this, but already an overtake further behind. Jeremy Pop then in fourth. Louis Quinlan can't make the overtake until they cross the line. And there goes Louis now. He's trying to make the overtake now. Go on the outside. Jeremy switch to the inside. That's very reckless there. Could have ended in a crash if he ended it wrong. But Jeremy's made a mistake. He was completely not ready for that. And Louis then moves into fourth position, trying to catch up with Louis. There's already an instant though further behind. That's Adam again, spinning it, and hopefully he can get back under control. As Reese now passes his teammate, who's ghosted. Unfortunately, that's probably messed him up on the safety car restart. Reese sudden threat by Ivan now behind in 8th position. Ivan's trying to make a move, possibly, but Reese brakes later. Keeps his form, but Ivan now's got to watch out. Yes, he won the race last week, as Jack's now gone down further down the grid. As Tim's had a great start. He's already into 11th position and already on the attack. The yellow's further behind. That's McLaren going slowly. That's Kieran. Kieran's gone off. Same place where Greenwood crashed. Don't look like there's any damage to the car. But that's going to annoy him today, especially when those high points on the cards. And he still needs to pit. As Shane is... Oh, Shane's round. Shane, who looked like he was going to get some good points, has now spun round. And in 13th, drops down to 14th and will be in 15th when Adam gets past. As why is he not going? Oh, he better not deliberately score for himself because he will be penalised for this. What is he doing? Okay, yeah, well, he's getting big penalty points for that. You're not allowed to deliberately disqualify yourself. Yeah. Louis then, trying to make an overtake on Cam as the fight for second place. Just looks like Louis got a lot more grip. And he's trying to do the Storm tactic. Storm's currently in 4th right now on the hard tyres. So he's safe for technically the net lead. As obviously Louis cannot make those softs to the end. As he's trying to make a move on Cam. They're going side by side down the straight. And the AlphaTauri shows the Red Bull who is boss. And he takes the lead. Second position, but the net lead at the moment. As those yellows further behind. I believe that's Adam. Adam is out. So he's out of the race. Will there be another safety car? A VSC though. It is a VSC. That's a shame that. So Adam's 10-second penalty won't be removed now as he's DNF. But Louis Quinlan is obviously staying out. The VSC could have lasted a bit longer, but tell you who hasn't stayed out. It's Jack. Jack's in the pit lane. He's risking it. I think it would have been safe for Louis to pit, go on the medium tyres, but no, he's stayed out. Let's see what the Alpine team decides to put Jack on. It's obviously going to be the hard tyres. And hopefully he doesn't get held up in the pit lane. No, he doesn't. Clean stop, and he's out. So that was a very quick pit stop. Hopefully we could see the pit stop times. Okay, there's guys going side by side almost through the VSC. And as back to green flag race, then it's Kieran has made an overtake on Jack there, who's AI, and he's trying to make a move on Luke Baker in the Williams in 8th place. We had 18 and we only have 13 remaining. As Kieran then is next to try and catch Luke, but he just didn't get a good exit there out of sector 1. There's a car overtaking another car ahead. That's Billy Mossman-Rees going side by side into the chicane. Oh, Billy really outbrakes himself but keeps the car under control. Good overtake there. Jerry Polk gets a 3-second time penalty but passes Rees March. Rees probably wasn't expecting that. And I'll tell you what he wasn't expecting, the battery to run already low, as these two are going almost side by side now to the next fast right-hander. And I won't count out Rees March here against Billy. Billy, yeah, you may have more ERS, but it looks like Rees is quicker, but we'll have to wait and see. They're both on hard tyres. Storm is in a brilliant position. The last time I believe he won a race was, I think, 3 seasons ago. It's been a while since Adrian won a race, and to be honest, it could have been actually season 5 IRL F2, to be honest, last time I saw him win. But right now, he's the favourite to win it. He's on the better tyre option. Yes, the guys ahead are pulling away, but they need to pull around about a 25-second gap to be safe. So Tim then moves into 4th as well, and he still needs to pit. So this isn't good for Tim at all. He needs to pit, and he could get double stacked. As Tim then is trying to pull away from the Ferrari of Ivan behind, who's also on these soft tyres. Let's have a look to gap to leader then. Gap to leader from Louis. If Louis picked now, he would be in between Cam and Jack. So, to be honest, he is losing time. Jack, under the VSC's gain time in 10th. And yeah, it's going to be interesting how they pull this off. Gap between Louis though and Storm, 6.4 seconds, so Storm's doing what he needs to. Enzo's now within DRS range, And Enzo's in a bit of trouble. Tim picks up another 3-second time penalty. If Tim's not careful, he could get disqualified by penalties. As there we go then, Tim in the pit lane, so he's decided to make an early stop. Lap number 13, I think, is to serve a 5-second penalty. So we'll have a look on his penalties then, if he serves it, obviously, as there's no overtakes at the moment on track anywhere, or even close enough. And yep, he is serving his 5 seconds, so that's his 5-second gone. As we now go on board with Reese and Kieran, these two are getting a bit close now. Currently fighting for 6th position, so Billy did what he needed to do, get ahead and pull away. He had enough ERS to do it. Kieran is the next up, who also spun. He's still on those medium tyres. Will Kieran be able to pass Billy Mossman ahead, as he's got ahead of Kieran now? And look at Luke Baker. This is great news for Luke now. He's looking for some good solid points as he's going to the end of the race on those hard tyres. As Tim then has got a big gap from Jeremy Port, 15.2 seconds. I think the maximum points Tim could get today is a point, to be honest. Because technically he is 12, because Jack's AI, he's not actually on control of his car. But look at Louis Quinlan right now. Gap 6.8 seconds. He's doing what he needs to do. Pull this gap to not lose a lot of time. Gets a 3-second penalty though, so that's not going to help him. The gap between him and the leader now, between Jack, is 19.5, so he's increased that from 18. So he is pulling away, as Cam has now just got ahead of Jack now. As Jack decides, his AI decides to peel into the pits. So it's going to be very interesting what happens. But Louis really now struggling with the rear end. Oh, and he's round! The leader is round! And he's going into the wall! Oh, and that's a big hit there. That could be rear wing damage. And that's going to really annoy him. And this is great news for Storm. He'll be laughing in the cockpit, saying, thank you very much. I've now got pole. I've got this race. And I just need to stay focused. Storm then is now your new leader, with Enzo in second, Ivan third. Louis now got back up to speed, but talking about people who's making moves now is Kieran. He's now made another overtake back on Reese March, as Reese looks like he re-overtook him. Luke though has got plenty of ERS. I think it's time to use a bit there, Luke, to make a possible double overtake next time round. What I want to say about Reese is he might be able to make it back on board with Kieran. Reese is on the possible overtake then on Kieran now, as Louis Quinlan decided to pit, and those softs were shot. I'm surprised Enzo and Ivan haven't spun as well. Reese is in a bit of bother. Does he go for the overtake, or does he save his ERS and defend from Luke? And I'll tell you right now, Jack is now coming in the picture as well. So Jack is now in 8th, and Louis Quinlan drops to 10th after his pit stop. And Reese picks up another 3-second time penalty. But look at Luke now. He's trying to get a good run, as he couldn't make it off there. He has to back off just so he can make the braking zone. As right now then, he's setting himself up. He's got plenty of it. He's almost got 85% battery. And Reese has only got 25. So, right now, Luke is just going to burn all this ERS and the DRS as well, just to make the overtake. Luke's trying to get a good run. He gets a good exit this time. Will Reese be able to defend? On the review of the Aston Martin right now, as Luke Baker's looking for the inside. Luke just needs to get a good run. And these two are on the same tyre compound. Reese is a lap old, obviously. But right now, oh, he's going to let him through. He's opened the door. Luke Big almost sent it there, and he gets a 3-second time penalty for corner coin, but he's now opened the door to Jack. Jack's now making an uptick. Oh, a bit of contact there, side by side, and Jack now moves into centre position. Enzo is now pitted, as apparently it looks like he passed on in the pit lane, obviously. And Jackman in centre position. Gap between him and the leader is 12.2 seconds, and they're on the same tyre compound. I don't believe he'll be able to catch that gap. Reese in 4th position now, going, oh, almost hits 3rd place. That's going to help Jack get a good run in the next turn 2. Goes on the inside then at the exit, and he's now side by side, going to enter turn 3 now, and he's going to move into 4th position. He gets alongside, gets the position ahead, and his next objective is Kieran. Right now, Jack is looking for another podium position. Let's go back on board with Luke Baker, or anybody right now who could possibly make an overtake, even Louis Quinlan on Enzo. Don't look like an overtake at the moment. We're on board with Louis Quinlan, who has to have rear wing damage. Hasn't got hardly any ERS though, and he's gaining on Enzo only a tiny bit. I don't even think he's going to have enough on the straight to actually catch him. The worst thing he's going to have to do is dive it. Shows him in the moves that he's there. As Jack now moves into 3rd position, as it looks like those two went side by side through the fast right-hander, and they're still going at it, as Louis Quinlan then is trying his best to get ahead of Enzo. Ivan though, on the back of Jeremy Pope. Jeremy hasn't had a point this season, and he would like a point in today's race, but Ivan, gets the better of him as Jeremy makes a mistake. They're going side by side now. We don't get a good camera angle. They're still going side by side through the next left-hander. Ivan has to give him room. They're going side by side, a bit of contact with a wheel banging, but great overtake there from Ivan. Gets past the Mercedes of Jeremy Pope. Jeremy then drops to 11th, and that's a shame for him. At the moment, he's not in the point, but he can still easily get points if somebody ahead makes a mistake, because Tim has actually caught up to him now. His gap 6.8 seconds from what it was for 15. Back on board with the front runners now, fighting for 3rd position. Kieran still needs to pit, so let's have a look from him. Gap to him in the lead is 12.5. To be honest, he's going to be behind Jeremy Pope, so he still needs to pit. So Kieran isn't in a good position at all. Kieran will need a pit then. Lap 17 now. It's almost pit window for his medium tyres, so he's probably going to go in around about lap 17 to lap 20 is within the range of the pit stops for the mediums when they've been out for this long. And he's the only guy who's going to pit, and he's going to lose a chunk of time, chunk of positions, and that's going to easily promote Jeremy Pope back into 10th position. But Jeremy Pope will have to defend like mad, because Kieran will be on the soft tyres, I'm guessing. There's no way to go on the hards at this distance, or he would have already pit already. But he's under threat now by Reese, who's currently in 5th, 1.1 seconds behind. They have gained a little bit, but those mediums aren't going to be the best. Gap between Storm and Billy, 7.2 seconds. And I've got to say, Billy Mossam, I thought he made a mistake pitting. He's currently in 2nd, got a gap of 4.1 to Jack, who's then got a bit of a gap to Kieran. He's safe. He's got 8 seconds worth of penalties. He's safe. I think I can't believe I'm actually saying this. I think Billy Mossam could get a podium in today's race, and I wouldn't expect that from him. And that isn't me being mean or anything like that. He just doesn't usually have the consistency, but today he is nailing it. He's currently in 2nd. I don't want to curse him or anything like that, as it could end up horribly later in the race. But at the moment he is in 2nd place on lap 18 out of 27 on 10 lap hard tyres, so they easily can go to the end. We're seeing an overtake further behind. That is Enzo making a move on Louis Quinlan, fighting for 8th place. Red Bull versus AlphaTauri yet again. These two have been scrapping each lap now. And Louis, tries to get a good run, but Enzo just parks the bus. Good defending there from the Red Bull. But will Louis come back at him? He doesn't have the ERS to play with, and these two keep scrapping the way they are. Ivan's going to catch up, and this could then turn into a 3-car fight. As Kieran's really feeling the heat now on those mediums. He's now lost a lot of time Reese is now within attack range as Louis Quinlan picks up another 3-second time penalty. I don't know if these two are going side by side at the moment, but he picks up another. But Kieran's got no grip on these mediums, it looks like, compared to the hard runners, and Reese March is looking for 4th place. He's going for the overtake, and an easy overtake is that. I think it was a mistake going this early though, and he's now into 4th position. Kieran's trying to get another switch back, but can't get the grip, and this has now opened the door for Luke Baker. So Williams today are having a brilliant result. Right now running 2nd and 6th. Technically net 5th, 2nd and 5th, as Enzo and Louis, there's almost contact between the McLaren, but Enzo and Louis are still fighting behind. We're trying to keep them both eyes on both bikes, but look at Luke Baker now. Jeremy picks up a 3-second time penalty, but the grip, the mediums, they've gone. They've completely finished, and Kieran now drops to 6th position. That was an easy overtake, so that's a shame for him. But what about Louis then? Will he be able to make an overtake? Louis getting a run. He's out of ERS. He's still trying to use overtake, but he's out of battery. And he's going for the inside. Oh, these two make contact. He shoves Enzo off. That could have easily given him a 1 and a possible damage. Louis got to be careful with these overtakes because it could give him a penalty. He was brought up with the stewards a couple of times last season due to little scenario moves, and sometimes it wasn't his fault, sometimes it was. But Enzo's coming back at him, going on the inside now through the fast right-hander, it looks like, but he backs off. He knows he doesn't have to fight this because he has the fresher mediums and plenty of ERS. Luke Baker picked up a 3-second time penalty. Kieran finally hits the pit lane, and he's definitely dropping to 11th position. Tim is absolutely on a fly right now. He's only 4.5 seconds from Jeremy Pope. The fast lap is still held though by Louis Quinlan at 31.690. The only person to get in the 31s, but I think Kieran will be able to beat that. Jeremy Pope then, he's easily getting ahead of that McLaren. So with Tim actually. So Jeremy Pope is technically, when we say technically in 10th place. Because I believe Kieran ain't got any pens, so. We'll keep an eye on that fight. Kieran then behind Tim, 3.6 seconds. There's a fight further ahead now. Reese and oh, hang on, Luke's gone off. Luke has spinned it, and that isn't good for the Williams team. Oh, we missed that, unfortunately. I thought he was side by side, that's why I jumped on Reese, but he made a mistake there through the chicane. Not too costly, hopefully, as he's going to have to get past Cam again, and he's going to, I think those tyres are overheating, so he's going to have to cool them down as quick as possible, because this sector you don't want to have overheated tyres, because you can easily spin it, as we saw earlier on from Shane, and also from, I believe, Jack in 13th, who was unfortunately in the session. He's pitting! What is Luke doing? He's pitting! He's going in the pits! Williams could have had a good points today, and now he decided to compromise that a little bit. He's going in the pit lane. I think he's going to try and go for fastest lap, so Kieran doesn't get it. However though, Storm is in his own little world. Gap 8 seconds to Billy. And Jack's now 2.5 off Billy as well, so the gap's quite big. So he's done what he needs to do today, Billy and Storm and Jack, as Reese is now 5.4 away from these lot. And Louis back in the 6th, so Louis is going to get some good points even with that mistake. And that's now actually helped Jeremy Pope and Tim, so Tim could get a point today. But he isn't a threat. Kieran is gaining now, gap 2.2 seconds. When they came out of the pits, they were roughly the same gap, 3.6. So between Tim and Jeremy and Kieran and Tim was 3.6, and now the gap is 1.9. Tim is absolutely slow right now, and Kieran is absolutely flying, I was meant to say. So Kieran then 1.7 right now off Tim, and he's gaining plenty of time, using a little bit of ERS now and then. He's still got plenty of ERS compared to Tim, who's only got 6%. On board with the fight for 4th position, I'm going to say, because this is the closest we have at the moment. As Camden is starting to reel in Reese. They're roughly both in the same ERS range, so Cam's looking for another position. Penalties though are going to be interesting because Yes, Reese got 9. He's going to lose that position to Cam anyway. But there's guys ahead. Oh, Billy's now got 11 seconds. Billy could lose the podium now if he gets any more pens. On lap 22 out of 27. Cam's now picked up a 3-second penalty as well, so they're matching penalties now. Cameron Reese are matching penalties. Oh, and he's almost lost the rear end. He keeps under control. Kieran sets a new fast lap with 31.1. So that's a new fast lap. Will Luke Baker be able to beat that time? I don't know. As Kieran then moves into 10th position now, and he's going to help Tim try and catch up with Jeremy Pope, who's 3.3 seconds up the road. And Luke Baker, if he wants a point, he needs to gain 5.6 seconds within the remaining laps. He's got enough time to do it, but will he be able to pull it off? He's absolutely flying. He's already 7 tenths on his personal best. His personal best is currently at 33.1. So it would be a 32.3 to 32.4 at the moment. The fast though is a 31.1. So he ain't going for fast though, it looks like. But right now though, Tim is trying to keep up with Kieran as these two are reeling in Jeremy Pope now. Gap 1.3 seconds. It's one of the closest fights we have at the moment. We will go on board with the guys ahead as well, obviously. Enzo trying to catch up with Louis. But Luke Baker now, gap 5.3 seconds. He needs to decrease that gap next lap by 4.3. He needs to gain a second per lap. He hasn't got enough time to do it. But right now, I'll tell you who has got plenty of time just to relax. It's Storm in the lead, no penalties. And he's got an 8-second gap. So he will be happy with the position he's in. As Tim now, there's a 3-car fight, 4P9 then, so Jeremy Pope is in a bit of trouble. Go on board with Kieran. Enzo picking up a 3-second time penalty, so plenty of people picking penalties. Jeremy hasn't got a good run. Kieran's got a brilliant run through turn 1. Gets a good exit through turn 2, a bit of contact there. But Jeremy Pope then drops down to 10th. Now he's going to be out of the point because Tim is in 11th. Oh, Jeremy's really struggling on those hards now. Those hards have got no grip at all, but Tim's on fresh mediums, fresher mediums than him. So those mediums are going to feel a bit better, but not for long. Because near the end, those mediums should die off. As Tim now is making an overtake on Jeremy Pope. So Jeremy then is out of the points. That's a shame that is Luke. As I say, he needed 4.3. It's now 3.2. So he's gained 2 seconds. He's cut the corner though. So is he cutting corners to try and catch up within time limit? Hopefully he isn't. But he's gaining enough time. Yes, he's got the same penalties as Jeremy, but he could still be a threat for Tim. Right, we're going to go back on board with the fight for 4th position right now between Reese and Cam then. Cam's recaught the time back up he lost when he made the mistake. And he's going for the attack. Looks like he's going for the outside. I think he might do the dummy. No, he's going for the outside. In turn 1, we've seen people go around the outside before. It's ended in tears, but Reese backs off there. And Cam takes P4, but Reese might have backed off. Probably didn't want to use the tyres or risk getting a puncher or anything like that to get him on the next straight. But I think those tyres are just dead. Because he's now starting to lose a bit of time to Cam in a couple of corners. Almost lost DRS range already. Jack's now 1.7 seconds on Billy. There's one lap 24 out of 27. Not that many laps remaining of the race. Although back on board with Jeremy Pope now. He's still within DRS, trying to save his DRS and everything. Jeremy is trying to catch up. Jeremy's staying with him though. Luke Baker not that far now. 2.6 seconds. He needs to gain another second to have a chance. Those softs though are not going to be great. As I said, Kieran, he's in 9th right now. He's 5 seconds from Ivan. He's not going to get Ivan at all, but he needs to not push that much on those softs. Yes, he's got fast slap. Yes, he's going to get the extra point. But he actually needs to finish the race because we saw earlier, Louis lost it on... Oh, no, Jeremy Pope saw a 3-second time penalty, so he might even lose another position by penalties. But as I was saying, those soft tyres can die and can easily make you lose the car, as we saw with Louis Quinlan. He only did 7 laps on those soft tyres and went into the wall. So, yeah, and I've got to say, Louis done a good recovery to go and try and get 6th, it looks like. And with rear wing damage as well, because he did hit that wall with a hefty impact. So, And he's also getting caught again by Enzo. 1.3 seconds. It was a bit bigger, I believe, last lap, 1.5. So it's stabilising between that now, between these two. And they're trying to actually catch up with Reece March, 3.2 seconds up the road. Speaking about a person who's caught up to second position, it's Jack. Jack now in second. It looks like he's going to get second on track because he ain't got that many penalties. So, yeah, I think Jack's in at second then. Let's have a look, gap to leader. I believe... yeah, it's going to be close between Billy right now. I think he is going to get podium. And the Alpines are 1-2. But Jack then, right now, lap 25. Going to be starting lap 26 soon. He just looks a lot faster on these fresher hards. Jack then, activating DRS. Not using any DRS yet, so he's waiting for the next straight. Actually, Sky said, no, he's not. He's diving it into turn one. It looked like he was going to wait for the next straight, but he gets the overtake, and now he's ahead of Billy Mossam. Lewis Marshall, it's good to see you in the chat. Right now then, one lap, 26 out of 27, the penultimate lap of this race. The Storm is running away with the gap now, 9.2 seconds. It's the only fight we have on track right now between second position, between Billy and Jack. The only way Billy Moss can keep the position is if Jack spins and crashes out, or he gets penalties. But right now, Billy is trying everything he can. Another one lap, 26 out of 27. One more lap to go. Could be a possibility. Not guaranteeing it though, Lewis. Could be a possibility. Because I have a race straight after, so I'm going to do a bit of practice. So, yeah, I don't know. It depends. But Jack then, in second right now. Billy Mossam in third. Will Jack get enough penalties to help Billy, or will he make a mistake under the pressure? He lost the podium last week due to a penalty removal, but this week it doesn't look like it. As Storm then, on the final lap, we'll go on board with Storm very soon. As Luke Baker now is it within Jeremy Pope's grasp, 9/10 of a second now, so he unfortunately won't catch Tim, but Tim might have another penalty if he's unlucky, but it doesn't look like it. We'll keep an eye on Storm though. As there we go then. It don't look like Luke is even catching Jeremy here, and it don't look like Billy Mossam's actually going to catch Jack at the moment, but we're going to go on board with the race leader at the moment. As actually, speaking about turn events which I wasn't going to expect, Louis Quinlan is out of ERS, but he's already on back of Reece March. Will he be able to get the position, and will he be able to get 5th place? He's trying everything he can. Will he be able to get it? We will have to go on board with Storm though very soon. He's only got a couple more corners to come across the finish line. We're going to go on board with Storm. I don't think he's going to make the overtake, but here comes Storm now. Round the final corner. And he's happy, he's celebrating, he knows he's got it, he knows he's got the win in the bag. 0 penalties, he takes the win. And great race there from Storm. Jack then will finish in second, so it's an Alpine 1-2 there. But will it be held? Billy Mossam takes third then. But what about Cam? Will Cam be able to hold that position? And Cam then, yeah, finishes in 4th. So Billy is confirmed third. And there goes Reece. Louis in 6th then. Enzo will finish in 4th place. Enzo had hardly any penalties. Moves into 4th then. Louis in 7th then. Ivan moves to 4th after penalties removed. And Kieran in 9th. And Tim then will be taking 10th position. As Jeremy Pope then will finish 11th, and Jeremy will, Luke Beck will take 12th then in the end, and that is the race for the IRL F2 tier. There we go then. Storm then, tasting the champagne, takes the win of the race with Jack in second and Billy Mossam in third. And as I said, I am very surprised Billy got it, but well deserved from Billy. He did a good job, did what he needed to do, good strategy then in the end with the VSCs and safety cars. But good race today and very exciting action from the S2 tier. And there it is then, here are the official results then. Storm, or Adrian, takes the win then with Jack in second, Billy Mossam in third, Ivan in fourth, Enzo in fifth, Cam in sixth, Reese in seventh, Louis Quinlan in eighth, Kieran ninth, Tim in 10th. Not a good result there from Tim after he was hoping to fight for the F2 title this season. Jeremy Pope in 11th, and Luke Baker then does finish in 12th. He must have picked up another penalty later in the race. As Jack then finishes 13th, Adam 14th, Chris Ryan 15th, Tom 16th, Greenwood 17th, all DNFs from today's race. However though, Shane did deliberately disqualify himself, which will be investigated by the stewards. It does say he DNF'd, he didn't, he did DSQ. So yeah, that's another glitch with the leaderboards. But yeah, that is the race then. And we will be doing podium interviews obviously, so I will be inviting Storm, Billy and Jack for interviews, as they will be happy with their results hopefully. And Lewis, you're cheeky so-and-so, but I'll talk to you in a bit. Well then, we will invite the top three then, as Storm stand first, obviously because he won the race. Apparently that Storm doesn't exist. Right. Okay, I'll have to do it the other way. Oh, okay, so that's fair enough then if you can't make it, that's alright then. Well, have fun at dinner. As, well then, we'll invite JP or Jack. And then we'll invite Billy, which I should already have on a custom list. Ooh, God damn it. There we go then, top two. Second and third then, get Sporting Movers, as Storm unfortunately can't make it today. So thank you for letting us know, Storm, and hopefully you have a good race next round, which is Italy. Well then, we have Jack already in the party, as his mic is on mute. We'll go on board with him very soon. We're just going to wait for Billy if he joins. Let's have a look, see if he's set out in the F2 general, and then we'll start with you, Jack, if you are there. He hasn't set out there. I would interview Tim, but this party's not allowed bottles in, so yeah. Anyway, Jack, are you here?
Yeah, I am.
Well, looks like I'll be on interview you today, as it doesn't look like Billy is turning up, but congratulations though on second place, second round, and you're already fighting for podiums again. Unfortunately, last weekend your podium got removed because Tim's penalty got removed, and he moved up in the order. But it's been a strong 2 weekends for you now, and how do you think the rest went for you today?
I think with the first safety car, obviously, biggest issue was I let my teammate past early on in the race because he was on soft tyres. He went on to win. I thought maybe just try to piggyback off him to catch up to the leader. I don't think I had the pace in the early stages to win, so I was trying to, DRS, just hang on the back of him with DRS and maybe catch up to the leader. I was a bit unfortunate with the safety car timing. I was actually just about to pass my teammate into the right-hander at the end of the straight, and the safety car comes out, so I had to back out of that. And I think from there, my chances of winning really went off because obviously he's then had the option to pit, and I've stayed out because if I'd had double stacked, I felt I'd have come out way further behind than if I'd than what I should do. So I stayed out and hoping that maybe I could just fetch the mediums again to get onto the softs a bit later on, but the virtual safety car then came out, and I thought probably best pitting now to minimise the damage from not pitting in the earlier safety car.
Yeah, obviously, as we did see that, and it was a brilliant decision then to stay out, wait for hopefully another safety car or VSC with the strat you were on. Because if you continue with the strat you're on, unfortunately, I don't think you would have scored any points, to be honest. Because when Kieran, he was on the medians to like lap 18, he dropped all the way to 10th, and then moved up to 8th. You may have got a couple of points than what you got today. But no, I think you made a brilliant strategy call with that VSC pit stop, and it worked out. But if you were ahead of your teammate, would you have pit when that safety car came out?
Yeah, I'd have pitted for hards and gone to the end.
Yeah, it was. You did look very favourite to win it. Same with Storm. Obviously, you and Storm were quite quick. Same with Louis Quinlan. Unfortunately, he went on a different strategy on softs. And obviously, with last week, you got 4th, I believe, and today you got 2nd. So you've done a cracking job. And with the championship, do you feel like you could easily fight to win the title this year, or do you think it's going to be a challenge between you, Tim, Louis, and possibly Storm?
I think for me at the minute, the way I see it right now, I think Tim's looking the fastest. I think he didn't have a lot of practice coming into the weekend, and I think me and him made some contact in turn 1, which possibly put him further back. But I think he'd have been right up there had that not happened. So I think it's going to be, if I manage to keep getting races, then I think I can definitely fight for it. But I think it'll be close, especially with Tim.
Oh yeah, obviously if you keep getting races, because you are a reserve obviously as well, and a reserve's actually I believe almost leading the championship, so you've done a cracking job the first 2 rounds as a reserve, and it might actually give you a seat hopefully for next round if a certain driver can't make it again. But I can't fault you, you've done a very good job the past 2 weeks. And one quick final question before I ask you the last question. The crash, or the little bit of contact between you and Tim through turn 1, who do you think, or what was it from your point of view, how it happened?
So from my point of view, obviously going down, I've lost the place into turn 1. I'm trying to defend the middle of the line sort of thing going into turn 1. And obviously the corner tightens, and when you're going into turn 2, it tightens on the exit, on the entry into turn 2. I kind of got caught out maybe a little bit by him being there. I thought maybe he'd have backed out of it, but I've turned in, and he's obviously I've made contact. He's made contact with my back tyre and spun round. I'd say I don't think he should have been putting his nose in there at the start, but he did, and obviously he's spun round for it.
Oh yeah, sometimes you've got to make some desperate overtakes for championship's sake. And you said Tim's going to be one of the quickest, as you said, and he's going to be up there with you. Hopefully that doesn't cost him in the title, because I'd like a little bit more action between you guys, as you guys do look the quickest and are the favourites in my opinion for the title. But then, my final question, it is Italy next week. How do you feel around that, if you are racing, of course, as you are reserve at the moment, but you could be promoted?
I won't actually be racing next week. I'm going to Park Life, so...
Oh no, that is a shame. Well then, I'll ask the next question then. It is actually Silverstone in 2 weeks. How do you feel about that then, if you are racing Silverstone?
Silverstone's a strong track of mine. Again, it's quite similar, I'd say, in terms of flowy corners, especially Maggots and Beckett section. I tend to be quite strong through there compared to some drivers, so I think, again, it's one of my quicker tracks, hoping again to battle for a podium.
That's good then. Hopefully, instead of a podium, hopefully you can get the win, because, you know, you've had third and then it was taken by a penalty, and then you've had second today. Another person who did that first season was me in IRL F2. I got third and second and a win. Hopefully you can do that. No pressure, of course, but hopefully you can get a win under your belt. And well, it's been a good race from you today, and congratulations on the result, and thanks for the interview.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Cheers.
Well then, this has been International Racing League. Unfortunately, I don't believe Billy is going to turn up, and as Storm said, he can't make it today. I've been your commentator, IRL Nain, or it's Jared Lee Fosbury. Hope you guys have enjoyed the stream, and if you want to see some more amazing content, do join us for the next round of the FP tier at France, which is on Wednesday, 8 o'clock. And obviously, if you want to see more F2 action, join us next week on Sunday. And unfortunately, Jack is not going to be there, so might have another surprise race, maybe a different winner. You never know, Billy could even win the race as he got a podium today. But hopefully we do see you then, and hit the like button and subscribe, and we'll see you guys then. Goodbye for now.